My name is Andy Laredo. I'm a software consultant with BMC Software in the New England area. Hopefully I've met some of you live or in other WebExes. Today I'm going to speak to you about navigating the dynamic SQL cache with MainView. This is the Easy DB2 menu, and it's one of the places you can get to the dynamic SQL cache hyperlink. There are various other ways to get here, but we'll navigate from here in this session. The main view for the dynamic statement cache menu is WZ cache, as you see here. And it's divided into some summary information, statement summary, and then SQL statement list views. We provide 4 of them, and then 4th is a nice one to start with if you want to customize it, have it look certain ways. And then we also have summary views. You want to come in by, let's say, program and see all the statements summarized by program, or maybe you want to come in by user ID and see all the statements summarized by user ID, and then drill down from there. And then finally at the bottom here is statement filters, where you can set and clear filters to control which statements will be free for you in views. So for instance, if you only wanted to look for statements executed over 10,000 times, let's say, you can set a filter. As in most of MainView, we have session parameters and then interval parameters. Session is up and then last 15. But for our purposes today, we'll just start off by going to the statement summary. We'll drill in and find a few statements, and then we'll go off and explain them with our common explain facility. And then when we drill from there, we get to the actual statement list, descending by date and time cached. And we have the program name available to us, the package name, the execute counts, whether they're current users or not. And in this case, I'm going to navigate a level deeper on the statement cached at 8:32 and 37 seconds in program ACS BQDB, and it was executed 3 times. This is the statement detail panel, and now we're showing you all the statistical and accounting information about that statement that we have from the cache. And probably the most important is the program name, the application name, the user ID that was running this, the object qualifier, table name that was going after, sysdatabase. Then we have a couple of hyperlinks that you see here, SQL text 1 and then statement ID. The SQL text will be hyperlinked to the full text where you can see the complete statement. Of course, we're only about 40 characters here. And statement ID would be a hyperlink to our common explain. And typically, you're uncovering problems in SQL statements 99 times out of 100 down to the common explain. Here's the first hyperlink, though, to the SQL statement text, and this is the way we would present it to you, broken up by line number, about 70 characters each. These days, statements can go on and on. We passed the 32K barrier a while ago, so this could be very, very long, depending on your situation. And now back to the statement detail, and I'm going to take the hyperlink on the statement ID, which will take me off to our common explain. This is our common explain landing pad. So we land here with the statement already explained and analyzed. And this is further described in other areas, so I'm not really going to go into using the common explain in this short presentation. But basically, you have 2 sections to this. Statement information in the top section, and then query block information in the bottom section. Simple statements of query block. You can drill into these with the action characters that you see across there to expand them. So if you put an S on the statement, you'd see the full statement. You put an S on the query block, you'd see more information about the table objects that are being accessed. We do know it's an index access by that I in the middle of the screen there, and we index name by the DSN DH01 that appears in the index name. This is our common explain. You get here from many places in MainView for DB2. Get here from AppTune for DB2, our SQL Performance product, and SQL Explorer, another one of our SQL Performance. Here I'm going to enter cust to go into customization, and I'm going to make sure that my default sort is descending on the date time column, and that's actually 2 columns, so you have to set it up in 2. So here we go off to the Customize panel. And here we're in view customization. You see, it's what you see is what you get oriented. And this is for all the views in MainView, not just dynamic statement cache views. I'm going to take the order option, so I put an O on the command. And that opens up my default sort columns. I do this by letters, like an Excel spreadsheet. So my main sort, column B, descending, and then column C, descending. So effectively, I'm going down by date time cached. So as I leave view customization, I get prompted to save my customization. Say yes or no, in case I'm saving it. Yes, hit PF. At this point, I'm back up to the dynamic SQL cache menu where we started from, and we can take a look at another list view. So for instance, let's look at execution statistics by program. And we get to the execution statistics here, and as you see, it's by program. You see execution count and the get pages, stuff like that. And again, if you wanted to do some customization of this, turn this into a summary view, for instance, you could do that by going in. Now again, back to the cache menu, we're going to take a look at some of the summary views. So for instance, let's go in and look at summary view by user ID. And then we get to the summary view by user ID. So you see there's about 7 user IDs listed. You see the number of statements in the cache for each user ID. So BM has 50 statements in the cache, and KTXL has 1,209. Okay. And you also see the oldest cache date and time, and current users, current copies. We'll take a hyperlink off of one of those user IDs, LSJLK, down in statements that user ID has. So we arrive at the statement list again, and we see that there's 3 statements in the cache, 3 different times, and we can hyperlink off of cache to get down to statement detail. I took that hyperlink on 9 o'clock and seconds, go down to statement detail for that particular entry. In this case, I won't do that, as you've already seen statement detail. Now we went back up to the Cache SQL menu and came down another summary leg, and we came down summary by application. And we see 22 application names along the left side. Some of them are TSO IDs, some are batch jobs, some of them are started tasks. Drilling out, of course. And then again, you see the number of statements in the cache. So the first one, DBC DCCA, has 50 statements in the cache. And then finally, summary by program. So here we're looking sorted down by program name, the statements in date and time. That has been navigating the dynamic SQL cache with MainView for DB2. You have other ways of navigating and getting around the dynamic SQL cache, such as GraphTune product line and our performance product lines. I wanted to give you a flavor of getting around there with MainView for DB2. I hope this hit the mark, and I hope you keep listening. Thank you very much.